for today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of beauty bestsellers, and all of these are beauty bestsellers that you're probably seeing a lot on the internet right now. So I wanted to give some tips, some tricks to tell you how much I love some of these products. All of the products that I'm mentioning today can be purchased from REVOLVE. So thank you to REVOLVE for working with me on today's video. They are the sponsor for the video today. So basically, I just went through the beauty bestsellers list on the REVOLVE site, and I picked some of my favorites. I picked some ones that I wanted to talk about and bring to your attention. So the first item that I have, I am so excited to talk about because before this was available in REVOLVE, it was a little bit harder to get. You could really only get it from specialty cosmetic stores or professional stores. It's the Embryolisse Multi-Function Moisturizer. I have a nice fresh one with me today, but do you want to know how many of these I've gone through in my life? When I was a bridal makeup artist, this is what I kept in my kit, and I used it on every single one of my clients unless they were extremely oily. But this prepped my client's face when I was in makeup school. This was the #1 skin prep product that was recommended from my teacher as well. So me and this, we go way back, and the fact that it's available on REVOLVE, did not expect it, but very, very happy. I don't use this on my channel really ever because for a while it was only in my makeup kit, so I am so excited to have one for myself now. And you know what's also really exciting about this is that this has had a viral moment on the internet. People have caught on what a beautiful product this is. So it's thick enough to really prep the skin for makeup, but it soaks in fast enough, making it the perfect base before makeup. No matter what, I always put this on my clients, like I said, unless they were extremely oily, because I cannot trust their skincare routine. I have to go in with a skincare product that I trusted, and this never broke anybody out, gave them a reaction. It's really great for sensitive skin. I mean, this has been a pro artist, I don't want to say secret, but it's very, very known in the industry. And over the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of just makeup enthusiasts catching on to this. It really is the real deal. So I'm excited to see that this is more easily accessible because it is the perfect hydrating base. So if you hadn't heard about this, it's good. I got the big one. For foundations, I'm going to be mixing a couple. These were on the beauty bestsellers list, and individually, you have heard me say that these aren't my favorite. However, mixed together, these right each other's wrongs and make it the perfect foundation. So I'm mixing the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. Now this is really popular for that no makeup look, very glowy look. It's super sheer, a little bit oily looking on my skin personally. And then the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation is a bit heavy for me and can look a bit dry, but this takes away the heaviness and the dryness from the Charlotte Tilbury, and they are a match made in heaven. It's crazy because I've always said I did not like the Ilia foundation. It's been a bit since I've used this. Oh, it might be a bit dark. I am on the fair side right now. I'm gonna add a little bit of my Ilia. And even though I don't love this foundation on its own, I've repurchased it 3 or 4 times now because it is such a workhorse to blend it in with other products. It makes so many foundations that I wouldn't have normally loved amazing. And the Ilia Super Serum Tint is still one of the best-selling foundations on the market, so you might want to give it a try because a lot of people do love it. I'm just going to use a brush to blend that out, but I feel like mixing in the Ilia has not watered down, but it's made the Charlotte Tilbury so much lighter on the skin, but it gives that really pretty, smooth, beautiful coverage that the Charlotte Tilbury foundation is known for, while keeping the integrity of the glow as well, since the Ilia also carries its own glow. Like, look at that. How pretty is that? And the dryness that I felt like I used to get from the Charlotte Tilbury has completely gone away, but we still get that good coverage because, like I said, the Ilia does not give hardly any coverage on me. So these are a really good combo together. Another good one to combo with the Ilia is foundation sticks, like the Hourglass foundation stick, for example, which gives a ton of coverage, but it can be a little thick on me. Again, thinning it out with the Ilia is incredible. So up close you can see how hydrated that looks on the skin. If you have a mature skin type as well, this will help with a lot of foundations sit a little bit dry on the skin. This kind of brings that foundation finish to life. Let's use a classic combination for brows. No surprise these were on the bestsellers list. ABH. I have the good old Brow Wiz. It had been a while since I used the Brow Wiz until semi-recently when I got a fresh one. And I was just reminded about how good this pencil is. This is the pencil I've been using since the 8th grade. I used to get my brows done exclusively at the ABH counter. So I've been an ABH fan for a while. There's a lot of good brow pencils out there, but gosh, using this today and the last previous days has reminded me this is an OG for sure, and it's really fantastic quality. I'm using the shade Medium Brown. I mean, I'm not talking about anything new and wow and something you'd probably never heard of, but you know, I'd put the ABH to the side because of all the new brow pencils to the market. I wanted to try them. But I've gone back to this and I'm like, wow, this is still one of the best, despite all of the advances in technology and all of the other brands kind of using this as reference point. It's still one of the best. So I've been loving this one recently. It has found a new permanent spot at my filming desk. So I will definitely be having this in the description box a lot more. While on my run to the classic ABH, I also have been pairing this pencil with the clear brow gel. Still an amazing brow gel. Again, have been using this since the 8th grade. Now right now, really trendy, heavy hold brow gels are in style, which is what I really like. But for a more natural brow day when I'm going for a less trendy brow, this just gets the job done. It gives a nice light hold, but still holds for a long time. I can see why this was my favorite brow gel for so many years. So I've been enjoying this good old classic ABH brow duo, and it makes my heart sing seeing that this is still on the bestsellers list because they both are such good, reliable products that you cannot go wrong with. Now for concealer, one of my all-time favorite concealers right now is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. So excited to see that this was a bestseller as well, so I can share my love for it with you. Now this concealer is amazing because it gives really great coverage while still being very hydrating on the under eyes. This is one of my most recommended concealers for mature under eyes if you still want some coverage. If I still had a working bridal kit today, this would be a concealer that I would keep in my kit because it gives such a good level of coverage that you normally wouldn't get with such a hydrating concealer. I remember in my kit I used to have, that Embryolisse has really brought back my kit memories, but I used to have this First Aid Beauty concealer that had super light coverage, but it was so hydrating that I would mix it all the time with like Tarte Shape Tape or something really full coverage just to get that hydration back. And I feel like this is the formula that I had been looking for when this came out, and I have not stopped loving this when it came out. So if you're looking for a good hydrating concealer that will still cover up darkness, or it blends out really easily as a foundation. Honestly, it sits so pretty as a foundation as well for a quick spot coverage. Tower 28, one of my all-time favorites. Let's do a little bit of bronzer and blush. I want to do cream. I really like cream because of the way that the products melt into the skin. It's so seamless. It becomes one with the skin. One of my favorites recently for that has been Dibs. And they do have Dibs at Revolve. I feel like Dibs is a little bit harder to get a hold of. I have some new colors as well. For the longest, I was using the shade 2.5. This one is incredible. But I think today, let's go shade 3. This one has a peachier pinky blush. What I like about these is that they are dual-sided, so you get a cream bronzer and blush. And I was so late to jump on the bandwagon of these. These were very internet viral for a long time. And it was at the time that in general, a lot of cream blushes and bronzers were popular. So I had so many that I was testing. I was like, I don't need to jump to a whole nother brand to try this product. And then eventually I did end up trying one of these and I was like, okay, I see the hype. They have a little bit of a almost powdery dry down. So I think that helps it last a long time. It's not too creamy, it's not too wet, but it's creamy enough to where it soaks in to the foundation, which is what I love about using cream bronzers, is just how one with the skin that they looked. This bronzer shade is quite nice as well. I'm just gonna take some for a lazy contour down the side of the nose. I like having a little bit of color there to bring it all together underneath the lip. I do have a powder blush that I want to be the main focus on the cheeks, but I'm just gonna do a touch of this cream blush, and that'll give the powder blush something to stick to, so it should last longer. But their cream blushes are also gorgeous. I don't know who I've become lately because I've been using cream highlights more than usual, and I am not a cream highlight kind of person, but Nude Sticks just does cream well. So if you are into cream highlighters, I definitely recommend the Nude Sticks Nudies Glow. I have the shade Ice Ice Baby. I'm just going to do a little bit on the high points of my face to add a little bit of extra glow, but I don't want to go too glowy today. But when it comes to cream makeup, Nude Sticks is at the top of the game, if you ask me. I've always loved their cream blushes and bronzers in particular. But to no surprise, they've still done a really nice job with a cream highlight as well. I didn't have a powder highlight that I wanted to use today, so I thought I would dig into this. I haven't talked about this one too much since I am typically going more for a powder highlight, but if you are a cream highlight person, I definitely recommend this one. Normally I hate like 99% of cream highlights, but this is a formula that I can get down with. So just a little bit of that. Now setting, we have some really good options here. One of them you've definitely heard of if you watch me, but maybe not. It's not as popular. So to set my under eyes, one of my all-time favorite powders to use is from Pat McGrath Labs. It's their Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. It is so feather light and it blurs the under eyes. This is a powder where you don't have to really pack it on to get that blurred effect. You can just use any typical powder brush. So let me blend out the creases. And I'm just gonna pop this on. This doesn't disrupt the makeup that you have underneath. It doesn't like change the color of it really. It just sets and smooths. It's incredible. I'll use this as an all over setting powder, even though it's technically just for the under eyes. It's so beautiful. It deserves to go everywhere. Again, if you have mature skin, this is such a good powder. And I mention mature skin a lot because if it works for mature skin, it will work for most skin types. Because who doesn't love to look smoother anyways? So that's a beautiful powder. And then for something a little bit more heavy duty, one of the best selling powders right now is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I don't love this as much for setting my under eyes, but I like it as a touch-up powder more so, or setting the face itself. I have a nice new fresh one, so I'm just going to go around and brighten up and set the areas that I didn't touch with the Pat McGrath, or that I want a little bit more color, because this will drop more color down than the Pat McGrath. So like the center of the face, I'm using the lightest shade so that this will brighten up the center of the face. So this one's a little bit more heavy, whereas the Pat McGrath is more light. Both have reason for being in my routine, hence I used both today with the same makeup look, but look how perfected and smooth my skin looks. And then the last bit of powder that I'm using is from Dibs as well. While their cream blushes and bronzers are already fantastic, turns out their baked blushes are also very good. I just feel like everything I've tried from Dibs is so yummy. These are a little bit of a glowier formula. I'm gonna stick mostly to the peach and then dip in a tiny bit onto the pink side. But remember, we put that cream blush down just a little bit, but the idea really was for this blush to stick on top. But we added that subtle hint of base color underneath. I love the glow that this gives. If you're into glowiness, you will love this blush. It doesn't give too much of a base color, which is why it's really great to pair with their cream blushes. But it is such a gorgeous glowy look. Put a little bit there, just a little bit. And then so excited to see this as a beauty bestseller. I mean, I've always heard about it for years, but it truly is the best. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I think it's an all-in-one. It's a finishing spray, it's a setting spray. So I feel like it really melts the powders together while also making the makeup last longer. It does everything. Because some are just finishing sprays, some are just setting sprays. This one to me is everything. Though this is the one with the bad sprayer. Okay, I fixed it. I really like to get it in there. Let me give that a couple minutes to dry. Now when it comes to eyes and eye makeup, if you've been watching the trends, you'd know simple eye products are what is really trending now. So I brought a couple really popular, trendy, kind of one and done style products. So the first one is from Nude Sticks. This one I don't know is a bestseller, so I'm like lying a little bit in the title, but it's going to be a base to the real bestseller. So this is the Magnetic Matte Eye Color from Nude Sticks, and I think that their eye pencils are really nice. I definitely don't reach for them enough. I picked out the shade Chocolate to use as my base color today, and I wanted to use this because this has a pretty good longevity, and I think the next product that I'm going to use doesn't have as good longevity. So I want to pair it with products that do have better longevity. So I've put on an eye primer. Make sure you use an eye primer if you're not using powders. Even if you're using powders, it's helpful to use an eye primer, but especially if you're not using powders and you're using cream style products on the eyes, use an eye primer. But I feel like sometimes using a stick can be intimidating. What can make it more approachable is using a brush and applying it that way, but you can totally just draw on your eyes if you want to and blend. They are formulated to work out very easily. I just want mine to have a subtle background, so that's why I'm using it with a brush. But if you want it to be a little bit more deep, just go and draw on. So you see how I just drew that on? Now I'm blending, and you can even go on and use this as eyeliner as well. I have a different eyeliner that I'm going to use, but these are very nice, not within the title of the video, but I'm using it as a background for what is truly a bestseller. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. Now I chose to talk about these today because they are bestsellers, but they do crease a little bit. So the tip I wanted to give you today to help if you are struggling with getting these to work, I said use an eye primer, pair it with products that are going to last longer. Underneath it, I'm just setting with a little bit of my face powder. Whatever you can use to keep everything nice and still. I know it's against the grain to put a powder underneath a cream, but in this case it's going to help. I'm using Champagne, which is one of their classic shades. I like to use a brush to apply this. You can use a finger. It'll give you a little bit more opacity, but I like to use a thin amount, which is what I get from using a brush, because the brush almost soaks up some of the product. Because if I'm being honest, the thinner the layer, the longer the wear. So I think this is a bestseller because, one, it's Charlotte Tilbury. Two, it gives that gorgeous glow to the eyelid that Charlotte Tilbury's company is known for. But I don't know, the longevity has always been something that I've questioned. So I've been a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury's brand for such a long time that I've really learned how to use her products in the best way. So I do love this for the simple glow that you can only get with a cream finish, where the glow looks like it's coming from the skin and not from the product. But adjustments are gonna have to be made to make it look that way all day. And if you're really looking to seal it in, if you have an oily eyelid set over top with powder. I know that kind of defeats the purpose, but the difference between using this and a powder shadow is how the glow looks like it's coming from your skin and not from the product itself. But is that not gorgeous? So that's my little spiel on these eyes to mesmerize. I always have fun purchasing these, and then I feel like I'm always like, do I really love it? Was it really worth it? But I mean, come on, when it comes to thinking about the Charlotte Tilbury look, this in champagne gives it for sure. Charlotte Tilbury also has really beautiful eyeliner pencils. I think today I'm going to stick with brown. I really like their eyeliner duos like this, but their eye kohls are so good and mushy. Like you can blend them out to get the smokiest, beautiful eyeliner. This rocking kohl in Barbarella Brown, I've used for years. It is a go-to stick for me, and it doesn't crease, it doesn't smudge, it has beautiful wear as well. Let's see what we can do with it today. Since I guess the eye is brighter, I want to keep this in the tight line to start. Get the lash line looking nice and thick by starting the depth underneath. I think part of this Charlotte Tilbury look, it's really beautiful when they have the depth in the tight line because that kind of fills in the lashes and makes the definition look like it's coming from the natural eye as opposed to the eyeliner. You can get it in between the lashes. And then next you can use a brush if you want. You can just draw this on. I'm going to start off by very lightly, very gingerly lining my lash line with this. Then I'm taking a pencil brush and just spreading that across the lash line. I have done really smoky, intense eyes with this formula where I will really go in and take the time to layer it and blend it out. I'm taking something a little bit fluffier just to get that softer blend. So you see, if you let it set, you can get a really defined edge. If you blend it out, you can get a really soft line as well. Like, look how pretty that is. And it just looks like it's coming from the eye. Same thing over here. See how easy this is to work out? Because I keep it pretty tight to the lash line. Then I really smoke it out. So I'm using a tighter brush to kind of force the color where I need it. It's a little bit rougher on the product to spread it out. And then I use a softer brush to blend it out. I'm just laughing because I never would have done anything like this in like 2016. It was like harsh black liner only. If you had told me I was doing blended natural brown eyeliner with a pencil, no less, I would not have believed you. Because growing up, you use a black liquid liner, and it was that way or no liner at all. Like, you had to have it that way. Anyways, I mean, the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliners are very, very good. Dare I say a bit underrated. They were on the bestsellers list when I checked, so that makes me happy, but not enough people are talking about them. I feel like it's being gatekept. And this just gives that signature Charlotte Tilbury kind of eye. I'm like messing around with giving it a baby wing just to extend the eyes. For mascara, this is one of my all-time favorite mascaras, and a lot of people know that's why it's a bestseller. It's the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. I don't have much to work with in the lash department, but I'm very happy whenever I use this mascara. It's separating, it's lengthening, it lasts a long time, it doesn't smudge all over the face. The shape is so beautiful for thin, short, small eyes. And a lot of people say, like, you don't have small eyes. Proportionally to my face, no, but literal size-wise, like, I'm a shrunken down human. So wands that are big against my eyes. So I'm just curling the lashes a little bit. I might pop on some falsies just to get the full Charlotte Tilbury eye effect, since that's where I was taking my inspo from. I love watching Sophia Tilbury's tutorials online. It's mesmerizing, you know, the models that they use are stunning, and the way she applies it just looks so clean and effortless. Okay, I'm gonna let these dry and then pop on falsies, but even though I require falsies, that's a personal problem, this would make lashes beautiful without falsies. Now for lips, I wanted to go with my all-time favorite lip liner, the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. Not only is it my favorite, it is a bestseller, and it's because it has a creamy application. It sets down, it lasts such a long time, and they have an amazing color range. I've talked about these for years. I'm going to use this shade Love Trap. It's like a neutral mauve-y shade, but will still add some color to my face since my eyes are so simple today. So I'm just gonna... See, it's kind of like my natural lip color, really, but way better. So I'm gonna fill in most of my lip as well. Not my face though, which I just did. And I like though these are creamy, they're not too creamy, so you still have control when applying them, and you just know they're gonna last a long time. And then I'm using the #1 best-selling lip product right now, period, at all of the retailers. This is Summer Friday's Lip Butter Balm. You can't run away from these. They're incredible. Today I want to use the shade Brown Sugar. I think it will go with my lip liner really well. I've gotten on so many spiels about this product. I think this is such a good product. It's glowy, it's hydrating. I wish they had more pigmented colors because I need more of this formula. I have a couple other colors that are more pigmented, but I want a heavy, heavy pigment one. But this goes really, really well with the Love Trap lip liner. Like, look how juicy my lips look. It's filled in all of the lines. My makeup looks so good today. That's what happens when you do a full face of bestsellers. It turns out really amazing. Here is the full look today. I'm loving the makeup. I am feeling the makeup, and it was using all of these bestsellers that I wanted to talk about. Maybe some not even because I think they should be bestsellers, but I wanted to give you tips and tricks on them if you are seeing them a lot online. So again, I have everything tagged throughout the video for you to shop these products if you're interested. A huge thank you to REVOLVE for working with me on today's video. You can just click the shopping button to view all of the products and to check out REVOLVE's amazing beauty section on their website. And if you like this video, make sure you literally physically like it and then subscribe to my channel to see more content if you aren't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, have a good one.